Welcome to my channel of faith and encouragement. Have you ever felt lost in life? Like you're wandering without direction, unsure of where to go next? Today, I want to share a powerful story that reminds us why we must hold on to God's guidance, just like a lost competitor in the wilderness, who had to find his compass before darkness fell. In the same way that a compass helps travelers find their way, God's Word is our spiritual compass. When we lose sight of it, we risk getting lost. But when we hold on to it, we can navigate even the darkest times with confidence. Imagine this. You're deep in the wilderness, miles away from civilization. The trees tower above you, casting long shadows as the sun begins to sink lower in the sky. The air is crisp, the sounds of nature all around. You are alone. This was the reality for a contestant on the survival competition Alone. Each participant was allowed only 10 essential items to help them survive in the unforgiving, untouched wilderness. Among those items, a compass, perhaps one of the most crucial tools to ensure they wouldn't lose their way. One day, this competitor ventured far from his camp in search of food. He had spent hours trekking deeper into the thick forest, carefully laying traps, scanning the terrain, and hoping to catch something to sustain him. But as he made his way through the dense trees, he encountered a few obstacles: fallen logs, thorny bushes, and tangled undergrowth blocking his path. Determined, he set his gear down momentarily, including his compass, on a sturdy log as he cleared a way forward. At that moment, his focus was entirely on survival. His goal was simple: find food, get stronger, and keep pushing forward. But in the midst of the struggle, he made one critical mistake. He left his compass behind. After finishing his search, he turned around to head back to camp. The confidence he had when setting out on his journey suddenly wavered as he realized something unsettling. Everything looked the same. The towering trees stretched endlessly in every direction, and the fading sunlight cast eerie shadows that made the forest feel even more unfamiliar. He took a few steps in one direction, then another. Panic started to creep in. Where was the path he came from? Was he even going the right way? The realization hit him hard. He was lost. Then it struck him: his compass. It was his lifeline, his guide back to camp, but he had left it behind. He racked his brain, trying to remember exactly where. A log, somewhere along the way. But which log? With time slipping away and darkness creeping closer, he retraced his steps, scanning every fallen tree and piece of wood along the way. Minutes turned into an hour. 1 hour turned into 2. The sun was inching closer to the horizon, and he knew if he didn't find it soon, the deep, cold darkness of the wilderness would surround him completely. Then finally, he spotted it. His compass sat right where he had left it, resting on the log. A wave of relief washed over him. He grabbed it quickly, his fingers tightening around it, as if holding onto life itself. Now with his compass in hand, he turned toward camp. Everything changed. What had taken him hours of wandering and uncertainty before now became a clear and focused journey. He checked his direction, adjusted his steps, and within 45 minutes, just before darkness fully set in, he made it back to the safety of his camp. The lesson? The compass was never lost. He was. This story is so much like our walk with God. Sometimes, we get caught up in life's distractions and set aside our spiritual compass, the Bible, prayer, and trust in God. Then, when trouble comes, we suddenly realize how lost we've become. How this relates to our faith. First, God's Word is our compass. Psalm 119 verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. This explains how the Bible is our true north, guiding us when we don't know what to do. Secondly, trusting God even when we feel lost. Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and He will make your paths straight. We may not always see the way, but when we lean on God, He directs our steps. Thirdly, anxiety and fear when we lose sight of Him. Philippians 4 6 to 7. Be anxious for nothing, But in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. The moment the competitor realized he was lost, panic set in. That's exactly how we feel when we try to navigate life without God. But just like the compass was still where he left it, God is always there, waiting for us to return to him. Spiritual reflection. Just like this competitor, we often start our journey with a clear purpose. We have faith, we trust in God, and we move forward with confidence. But somewhere along the way, we get distracted, overwhelmed, or so focused on surviving that we set aside the very thing guiding us, God's Word. And then, suddenly we look up and realize we're lost. We panic, we feel stuck. We wonder how we got here. But here's the good news. Just like that compass, God's direction never leaves us. It's always right where we left it. When we come back to him, when we open our Bibles, seek him in prayer, and trust in his guidance, everything shifts. What once felt confusing and overwhelming now becomes clear. He leads us back before the darkness overtakes us. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." No matter how lost you feel today, God is still guiding you. Just turn back, pick up your spiritual compass, and trust the path he has set before you. You feel lost today, God has not abandoned you. His word, his presence, and his love are still there, guiding you back. Stay close to God's word. Pray and seek his direction daily. When you feel lost, don't panic, trust him to lead you back. When you pause and turn back, you find the map right where you left it, unchanged and ready to guide you home. In the same way, God's word, prayer, and faith are the map, compass and guide that lead us to where we truly want to be, not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally as well. So the next time you feel lost, don't panic. Don't let fear paralyze you. Take a moment, turn back and reconnect with the divine guidance that has never left your side. And that's just it. When life's challenges press in and threaten to engulf you, causing you to question your steps, remember that God's guidance is not distant or unattainable. It's as close as the compass in your pocket or the Bible on your shelf, waiting for you to turn to it in times of need. It's about recognizing that you are never too far gone for God's love or mercy. And it's about rediscovering the joy and freedom that come from living a life guided by faith and the promise of his word. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, take comfort in knowing that God's guidance is a constant in your life. Hold on to that truth and let it be your guiding star no matter where life may take you. If you feel lost today, God has not abandoned you. His word, his presence, and his love are still there, guiding you back. Stay close to God's word. Pray and seek his direction daily. When you feel lost, don't panic, trust him to lead you back. So stay close to God, pray and seek his direction. Ask him questions, and be still to know him and his answers. Isaiah 30:21. And when you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." Hold on to your compass, hold on to God. He will never lead you astray. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more faith-filled encouragement. Let me know in the comments, has there been a time in your life when you felt lost but God led you back?